Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashir, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, peace, blessings, and honors to all the brothers in this truth. What you're seeing on your screen is a post that's been circulating on Facebook. So every now and then, I'll just see what the people talking about, and then I'll make a video on it. And what you can see is all these paintings, very old and probably very expensive and high value paintings, and you can see of all Yahweh Shai, especially right there in the middle and stuff like that, and at the bottom, these Israelites, and you can see their color, you can see their countenance is their man of color, which is what we've been saying. So that knowledge is increasing, and it kind of goes exactly with the scriptures. Now this is Acts chapter 13. This is gonna be quick, just a little quick a little quick drive by. This is Acts chapter 13. Now verse 1, it says, "Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers." So we talking about the prophets and teachers, as Barboas and Simon, that were called Niger, and Lucius of Syria, and Manin, which had been brought up with Herod, the Terach, and Saul. But the point is it says, "And Simon, that were called Niger." You could say nigger, but it's the same thing, which goes back to, we know that word in some languages mean black, but it just goes back to them being man of color. And this is in the Bible. So this is one thing. Like when I was having a conversation with a person that's kind of close to me, they were saying that the Bible don't say if the Lord is this color or that color. And I was like, why doesn't it? I was like, yeah, it does. You just say, and see, this is how people do. They go off their heart. They start saying stuff, and they don't even know. They ain't even read the Bible. A lot of people take things out of context. They read one verse, or there's a verse that's being shared on Facebook, kind of like with this, and they read that verse and they remember it, and then they share it, and then they speak it, but they haven't read the whole chapter. They didn't get the context of things. They ain't read the whole book to understand. You got to get the context, man. Sometimes you got to get in here and read precept upon precept, but you also got to know what the whole chapter talking about. You also got to know what the whole book is talking about, who the book was written to, especially with Paul's writings like Acts. This was written to the Israelites, but people took these things and said it was for the whole world, and it wasn't. It's only for the Israelites. You could go through right here who the true Christians are. Well, us, the prophets, the brothers, the hopeful, the elect, we the true Christians. If you jump back to Acts chapter 11 and you go to verse 26, it says, "And when he found him, he brought him to Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people." Same thing we doing to this day. "And the disciples were called Christians first at Antioch." So the disciples were the first to be called Christians, which just means follower of Christ. Now, we know if we jump back to Acts chapter 13, they were called nigger too. So if you put it together, the disciples were called Christians and they were called niggers. So who is called niggers today? That's just how simple this is. And this is back to the basics, when we first got into the truth, so we still teaching the same thing, and the Lord color is in here. I ain't got to go to it, Revelations chapter 1, since that person was saying that, and that's just very simple. And that's how you put together the book, though. Now you got to get it right now. A lot of people is sharing this. I see a lot of people sharing this on Facebook and stuff like that, and that's great. But this is just, I look at it like an invitation from the Lord. The Lord had put the spirit on people to share stuff like this. The truth. I put up a video that says, I forgot exactly what I named it, but it says, "Pay attention, see the signs." So the Lord had these signs going for you to pay attention and see the signs, and you never know. A brother might see it, like myself, and break down and make a video so other brothers can see it, or a brother might see it and he might come into the truth off this. Because I came into the truth off, being on trucks, over the road, trucking, and watching documentaries on slaves and stuff like that. Next thing I know, a video pop up talking about the whole Hebrew Israelite things. Everything you've been lied to about. The true Israelites are the Negroes. And that's the video that brought me into the truth. And I'm sitting there soaking it up. I'm like, dang, okay, a lot of stuff making sense. It's logic. It's bearing witness with my spirit, And then next thing, I start researching more. And I keep telling brothers, you can't hold nobody's hand in this truth, man. They got to be the ones that, I got cousins and stuff that I spoke the truth to them, but they have to be the one that has to go and research, that has to go continue studying, praying to the Lord to increase their knowledge. They got to put that work in. I can't do it for them. So I look at this as like, when things like this is being shared, it's like an invitation. A brother might see this for the first time and look at it closely and be like, dang, that's crazy, that's true. He might go watch a video, he might see this video, and then he might think, so the Christians were being called niggers. That's the same thing we being called to this day. And then one thing leads to another thing. You might watch a couple more videos. You might start watching some of the elders and the apostles videos. He might get edified. He might start learning the truth, doing more studying, and then he might go out there and start teaching. That's how this thing works, man. But you got to get it right now, because a lot of people are going to scroll right past this. They're going to look at it and say, oh, okay. Yeah, I already knew that. You always got an old head that know everything. But ain't showing no results. No, they know everything, but they don't show no results. And then be like, okay, yeah, I already know that, young. I already know exactly what you talking about. But then pull out a cigarette and start smoking a cigarette. Wait, I thought you already knew. Or they gonna go order some shrimp and lobster or something like that. But I thought you already knew it. You ain't following it though. So you got to get it, because a lot of people gonna just scroll right past it, put it in the back of their brain, and then go back to being wicked. And you got to get it before the end comes. Now this is Amos chapter 8. It says verse 11. Right? It says, behold, the day come, say the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the word of the Lord. Verse 12, it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So right now, everybody focus on the vacation. They focus on putting out their mixtape. They focus on shooting videos. They focus on going to the club, getting designer this, designer that. Just being complete wicked, right? That's what everybody focus on right now. But the time gonna come where they gonna run to and fro seeking His word, but the Lord He gonna make a famine of the word. The word ain't something gonna happen where the Lord gonna take us off the highways and byways. We ain't gonna be teaching no more. All hell probably gonna bend and broke loose, and they gonna run to and fro looking for this truth, but they ain't gonna be able to find it. It's gonna be too late. The door gonna be shut. Now if you go to here, let me see if I can find it, because I know I went right over it a couple times. What's that? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. The other nations is going to find out, and they're going to have to admit that we are the true Israelites, right? And this is going to happen here soon. Verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. And that's what we doing right now. When you go out on the highways and byways and you teaching this truth before the famine of the word comes, right? You standing in great boldness. Anything can happen to you. Like, man, I done been out there and I done had people come up and say their blessings to me. I done had people walk straight up to me. I done had people come out there and give me high fives and stuff like that. I done had security guards or the place I be at come and, they kind of mean mugging you. They walking around, seeing what's going on. I done had the police, drive by real slow, scope you out. Man, you kind of risking a lot being out there, man. Anybody could just run up on you and do anything. You expose you in person. You not hiding behind some keyboard on the internet. You really literally out there, man, sacrificing. So you standing with great boldness, right? And some of the things you saying gonna offend people. I'd have been out there where I done had a group of 6 people sitting around the spot that I'm at, and they all could hear what I'm saying. You could tell they're all listening, and you look over and you see frowns on people's face. That you don't think they want to get up and hit you upside the head or just snap or do something, but the Lord controls their spirit to not come up against you like that, because the angels is also around about you too. So you standing in great boldness, man. You gonna see that persecuted but not forsaken. We gonna get persecuted. You through much tribulation you must enter into the kingdom of heaven, but we are not forsaken. You're gonna be, there's a reward for what you're doing, the sacrifice that you're making. Verse 2, it says, when they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear, and should be amazed at the strangeness of His salvation. because the strangeness of our salvation is what makes it so strange is our salvation is going to come by the way of those UFOs. When they speak of those UFOs, they talk about alien technology. It's so strange. They can't get a clear picture of it, and they can't understand how it's moving, how it moves so fast and turn at a drop of a dime. And they ain't seen nothing yet. They ain't seen the laser beams come out and blow stuff up yet. They ain't seen laser beams come up and abduct people in broad daylight. How the elect's gonna be taken. They ain't seen nothing yet. So it's gonna be very strange. You know, when you looking at, there was a commercial. I think it was like a Nike commercial or something like that, around the Super Bowl or something like that. All hell was breaking loose. Skyscrapers falling over, people stealing, people rioting, people killing. All hell break loose. And then at the end of the commercial, brothers probably know what I'm talking about. It was just weird out of nowhere. Some dude, he a famous Mexican rapper. I forgot his name, but out of nowhere, he just, a light shines on him from the heavens, from the skies, and he just starts getting beamed up into a chair. It was so strange. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it means, the strangeness of our salvation, by the way, is those chariots. Because they ain't never think that, they call them aliens, and so-called UFOs, was going to come down and be beaming up Israelites, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What is that? That's how the nations are going to be thinking. Because a lot of people don't see this coming. A lot of your family members, you know, that's not going to make it, that's going to have to eat a missile, they going to be looking at you get saved and beamed up, man. And they going to be like, where's my son? Or where's my cousin? He's getting beamed up into the, what is going on? But they going to know, though. They going, oh, that's because that truth, that work, that they probably think we weird right now. That weird stuff he was doing, that's what got him. I always knew it was something about him. They going to be switching sides then. That says, so far beyond all they looked for. And they repenting, see, they switching sides. They repenting. They now they want to open up the Bible and listen to what you said. Now the Bible wasn't just a mystery book that was written over and over again. Now they ready. Now they ready to listen, but it's too late. That's why I read Amos chapter 8. You know, to show you that there's gonna be a famine of the word. It's gonna be too late at a point in time. Now they gonna be ready to, you know, hear what you were saying, and oh, I said this in the Bible. Okay, this made sense. Okay, this is the context. Then they gonna be ready. But even the other nations, it says, and groaning for anguish of spirit shall they say within themselves, this was he who we had sometime in derision. Talking about the other nations had us in derision. In a proverb or reproach, they call us niggas, right? Spicks, wetbacks, all that, you know. It says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be wild honor. You know who's saying that right now? Your Moabites. You can't use their name right now. Your channel will get shut down. Your Ishmaelites that come in your hood and they sell you jewelry and they sell you cars and they got liquor stores at every corner. And then you got your Moabites that got the nail salons. All your girls going to go get their hair, they nail salon, they massages, and then you got Esau that's taking advantage of you, and a lot of the other nations. You know, it says, how is he numbered among the children of God? How is his lot among the saints? They're like, how are they the saints? How did they get that salvation? You see what I'm saying? It says, therefore we have erred from a way of a truth. So they going to be repenting. They going to have to admit it. They going to have to admit that they erred. They going to be switching sides, but it's going to be too late. It says, and the light of righteousness has not shined into us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. So it's verse 7. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where they lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. What has pride profited us? And what are we in right now? Pride month, right? They're going to be like, what has pride profited us? Or what good has riches with our vomiting brought us? So they going to be, man, looking at the strange. And it all goes back to Genesis chapter 27. Now, if they read the Bible and they listen to the prophets and they learned and they understand that this is still the same thing, even though we got the curses upon us, because it goes back to Deuteronomy chapter 32. Those curses are going to be put off us, and they're going to be put on our enemies, you know. But going back to Genesis chapter 27, this was a part of the blessing. Verse 28. Therefore, God give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of earth and the plenty of corn and wine. We're going to have that in the kingdom of heaven. It says, let people serve thee and the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren And let thy mother's sons bow down to thee, the other nations, not be equal with us. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesseth thee. They should have blessed us. But what did they do? They cursed us. The Ishmaelites, the Edomites, the Moabites, Ammonites, all these other Hamites. They all cursed us. So therefore, guess what? They have curse coming for them. When you go to not to abhor a Edomite, well, guess what? They cursed us. So they got those curses. They got that judgment coming to them. So if they would have blessed us, then they would have been blessed as a nation. Lord is dealing with nations, man. So they all got something coming for them. But the truth is out there, so you kind of got to get it. I'm going to leave it there and just say, look, man, you kind of got to get it right now. You don't have time because you don't know, like, the Lord comes in the thief of the night. You don't know when the Lord is going to pop back up, man, for you to just keep pushing it off and say, well, I could get to it later on. Yeah, I heard he was saying that I got to get this money first. I got to get my life together first. And then when I get the time, I dabble into the Bible. You can't do that, man. You're going to err. You're going to go to the way of destruction. Brothers that was in the truth that kind of left out the truth to follow worldly lust. Man, you ain't got time, man. You was on the right path. You still got time to repent and come back into this thing. But it's all by the way of the Lord, The Lord gonna choose if he wants you to be into this or not. If you a bad man, you need to put your best foot forward, man, into this truth, man. Because when all hell break loose and you lose all the things that you went back into the world for, what's the point? What's the point of going back to the world to get a good job, to make money, to level up in life if all those things are about to be destroyed anyways? And then you're going to be praying to the Lord and wishing for salvation and looking at the strangeness of our salvation, the hopeful elect. So I'm not going to make it too long. I'm going to just leave it there and say salvation to the elect. Shalom.